This is Fox First at 10. Breaking now.
Well, breaking first here at 10 o'clock, you're watching the moments a house explodes in Arlington, Virginia, after police say a suspect fired a flare gun inside. Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight here at 10 o'clock. I'm John Webb in for Morgan Ashley. We start our 14 minutes of uninterrupted news with the latest on this investigation. That powerful blast rocking the entire neighborhood just after 5 o'clock our time. Several media outlets are reporting officers arrived at the home to execute a search warrant. Investigators say that's when the man fired several gunshots inside of the home before the flare gun. It took crews 3 hours to put out the flames. The FBI Washington field office is assisting in this investigation.
This is where the suspicion comes from, is when you offer something to the people and agree that you're going to allow us to vote on it, and then you yank it back.
Spokanites asking City Council to not delay an upcoming ballot question regarding redistricting. The question currently on the February ballot asks Spokane residents to change city charter to create a 7-member redistricting committee, but some on council think the voters need some more time. All right, I'm Schwager at City Hall for us tonight. And Adam, did they come to a decision on when this vote will take place?
John, they came to a decision on a date to come to a decision. Usually Mondays are where City Council makes all their decisions, but it'll actually be next Thursday, December 14th, that holds the fate of this redistricting ballot question.
So I want to make that clear. The maps were never gerrymandered.
Earlier this year, Councilmember Zach Sapone found himself at the center of a lawsuit about a map he drew, dividing up Spokane City Council districts.
The judge also very clearly stated this was wrong and we should not do this and it needs to change in the future.
While the judge ruled in Sapone's favor, he strongly criticized the council members' actions and said council members shouldn't be involved in redistricting in the future.
When this was passed,
in response, City Council voted at their July 24th meeting to add a referendum to this February's ballot, asking Spokanites to change city charter and make a 7-member redistricting committee.
There are still a couple things that I'm concerned about and wanted to push it back.
Sapone lobbied to move the ballot measure to the November election and create a full city charter review committee with an emphasis on redistricting, saying people needed more time to weigh in.
So I would rather debate actual solutions to the proposal rather than just deferring to next November.
Councilmember Cathcart, who has done most of the work on the ballot measure, disagreed, asking for specific issues Sapone had with the proposal.
Just a blanket deferral without really knowing the what that's going to change, I just don't agree with. And on the community assembly, that really
John, it was about 20 minutes of discussion before they settled on bringing this back up on that November 14th date, or December 14th date, which actually happens to be the exact same day Sapone is having a hearing for an ethics complaint about this exact issue. In Spokane tonight, Adam Schwager, Fox First at 10.
A busy night for Spokane City Council. Adam, thank you. The City Council also approving 2 levies, which would increase property taxes. The first one set to be on the February ballot would go up 7 cents for every $1,000 of assessed value. The money would go to fund the library system. The second one set for the August ballot would increase property taxes 29 cents for every $1,000 of assessed value. Neither would take effect unless voters approve them. Spokane County Commissioners approving a $936 million budget for 2024. It includes funding a 13th judge and staff. It also has money for the new resource planning program to buy equipment and pay for upgrades and investments in certain parks. One thing it doesn't include is adding a 1% increase in property taxes. Commissioners voted that down last week. A live look above downtown Spokane tonight. First snow, now rain. The only way to describe the weather this past week? Whiplash. Weather forecaster Justin Spinnie joins us now with a look at that rain. It was a pretty shot out there, though. Spinnie, the lights are glowing all the fog.
It is pretty. It's been one of those days, right? You don't think it's going to look good outside when you get the snow and you get the rain to come in. It makes everything look slushy, but it really was a beautiful day, and we have a very interesting weather pattern to go with it right now. What we're talking about is atmospheric rivers. So as John was talking about, we have the snow over the weekend that today has transitioned into rain for most of us, and we're actually expecting a lot more rain as we go over the next couple of days because of that atmospheric radar. We had an active satellite and radar. And here's how much rain we've seen so far. Really limited totals as of right now, just 1/10 of an inch in Spokane, just over 1/10 of an inch in Bonners Ferry. Other areas with just light trace amounts. But again, we expect these numbers to skyrocket as we head into tomorrow and then into Wednesday. Let's talk about what the temperature is going to look like overnight tonight. Another thing that we're seeing skyrocket is our temperatures. We're getting this warm burst of southwest air our direction. So we're going to start to feel it a little bit tonight, where many of us aren't going to fall below that freezing mark. We're going to stay at 35 degrees in Spokane, 36 in Moses Lake, 40 in Ritzville, and 41 degrees is going to be our low today in Pullman. But let's talk about what we expect in terms of that rain that is going to start moving in. Our first band is going to move through overnight tonight, and that's going to be the first of many. In fact, for some of us, that rain may not really let up at all tomorrow. We can kind of see that diagonal line we're going to continue to track from the morning into the afternoon and evening hours, where we will see consistent rain, especially through northeast Washington and the North Idaho Panhandle. Even as we head into Wednesday, that rain is expected to continue, and our temperatures are going to get even warmer as we hit Tuesday and Wednesday. But as we start to look toward this next weekend, looks like those temperatures are going to go back down and our snow level will drop once again. So we have a lot to talk about coming up in just a few more minutes, John.
Busy weather-wise. All right, Justin, thank you. New video shows the moments before a man was shot and killed outside the North Spokane Walmart. What you'll see is the man, a suspected shoplifter, being tased by officers as they attempt to subdue him. Well, police say an officer was working on a shoplifting emphasis patrol at the store when he made contact with the suspect. When the man began resisting, he called for backup, which led to the scene you're seeing right here. At the end of the video, the suspect runs outside of the store where the fight continued. Police later told us in a news conference that in that fight, 2 officers were injured, 1 taken to the hospital. The incident happened while customers were shopping and the Walmart had to be evacuated. The name of the officer that fired his gun will be released in the coming days. The identity of the man killed will be released by the Spokane County Medical Examiner. And one point of clarification: during newscasts last night and this morning, we reported the suspect was armed with a knife. That has not been verified. Police have only confirmed that 2 officers were injured during a fight with the suspect. They have not yet said how. Rockstrom police need your help identifying these individuals. They believe that the 3 are teenaged girls. The police department didn't say why they're looking for them. If you know who they are, contact Detective Brown. An $8,000 motorcycle was reportedly stolen in Coeur d'Alene. It's green with black saddlebags and a red sticker that says Spitfire. It was last seen in the 9,000 block of West Highland Drive. If you know anything about this, call the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office. Well, new tonight, Pullman police arresting a man after a series of car burglaries. According to our friends down at Pullman Radio News, officers got 6 calls about the burglaries early Saturday morning. Officers arrested a 20-year-old man. They're now trying to figure out if he's responsible for other car burglaries. A scary scene in Spokane Valley as a massive fire breaks out inside an industrial area of Spokane Valley. Firefighters arrived at the Spokane Industrial Steel Foundry building southeast of Sullivan and Trent around 3:30 this afternoon. Crews say it was difficult to fight the fire because of the different material inside. They were able to get it out about an hour and a half later. The cause of this fire under investigation tonight. Well, the Supreme Court spent nearly 2 hours this morning hearing arguments over a controversial settlement. If approved, the deal would provide billions of dollars to combat the opioid crisis. But the Biden administration says the deal doesn't go far enough. Reporter Rebecca Castor has the latest from Washington.
I just don't want to see other families go through what my family has gone through.
Outside the Supreme Court, relatives who lost loved ones from the opioid crisis gathered in protest, many demanding justice for those lost.
We have to hope that the Supreme Court does the right thing.
Inside, the justices grappled with a challenge made by the Biden administration, questioning the legality of OxyContin maker Purdue Pharma's bankruptcy settlement. While nearly 60,000 victims support the deal, others say if approved, it unfairly lets the Sackler family off the hook, shielding them from the possibility of more civil lawsuits.
If this bankruptcy settlement is approved, they are forever shielded, and that's an abuse of the bankruptcy process.
Purdue Pharma's lawyer Monday argued a ruling against the plan would take a wrecking ball to the bankruptcy code.
Creditors and victims will be left with nothing, and lives literally will be lost. Nothing in the code commands that tragic result.
The DOJ maintains the deal would illegally extinguish the rights of people, aiming to sue those who made a fortune selling the prescription pills.
They were guilty of sin. We all know that.
A ruling is expected by early summer, but no matter the outcome, many of the victims' families want the Department of Justice to bring criminal charges against the Sackler family. Outside the Supreme Court, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Traveling along the mountain passes during the winter can certainly be tricky. This is video of this weekend's snow covering the roads on Snoqualmie Pass. Now WashDOT is sending a warning. Make sure you follow the signs telling you when chains instead of tires are needed. You may remember Saturday, the pass was shut down for a half hour after numerous slide-offs on Interstate 90. WashDOT says you need to stop underestimating the weather and drive overestimating. This includes keeping things like food, blankets, and water in your car in case you get stuck.
Stop driving up on Snoqualmie Pass with bald tires and then follow our restrictions. If it says traction tires required, that means traction tires are required. It's not recommended, it's a requirement.
Experts add the best way to keep you and your family safe is to drive slow on the snowy and slick roads during the winter months. Spokane City Council is now accepting applications to fill one of the city's 2 vacant city council seats. The South Spokane district seat has been filled by Ryan Ulrich since Lori Kinnear took over as interim city council president this summer. The council is accepting applications until January 5th. They'll then make a final decision on who will fill that vacancy on January 22nd. Meanwhile, Spokane Mayor-elect Lisa Brown set to announce her transition committee members tomorrow. She's holding a news conference at the Catalyst building on East Riverside Avenue. Brown will also name committee co-chairs. The announcement is set for 11 a.m. and will be live streamed on the Mayor-elect's Facebook page. If you're heading to see the Village of Lights in Leavenworth, WashDOT has a message for you to help smooth out the flow of traffic. Crews will be restricting some turns on US 2 through Leavenworth this Saturday and next Saturday. A handful of local roads will also be closed. WashDOT advises extra time if your travels take you that way. Call these guys the holiday heroes. The Kootenai County Sheriff's Office was able to help 22 families this year with their Holidays and Heroes event. Children were able to go shopping with deputies this weekend. They got everything from toys to clothes. And while this year's event is over, they're accepting cash donations for next year. Still much more to come tonight here on Fox First at 10. Hamas accused of an unthinkable crime. What the Biden administration is doing about the issue. Plus, here's something that would shock music fans. Listening to Taylor Swift and Beyonce could save your life. That's ahead in your hotspot. But first, Justin's back with your full weather forecast. That's next here on Fox First at 10.
Keep you updated on it, John and Noah.
I think another word for this forecast is a roller coaster.
It's a bit of a, especially those temperatures. Strap in and buckle up.
Right. All right, Justin, thank you. Well, the Gonzaga Bulldogs moved up in the latest college basketball rankings. Noah Schmick joins us now with where they sit after finally breaking into the top 10.
Yeah, well, John, it was only a matter of time. It was a matter of time besides a single loss to ranked Purdue. So the Zags have been mostly unstoppable in non-conference play. The Bulldogs moved up to number 7 in the AP Top 25 rankings with their win over USC and a help from a few of those teams who lost in front of them in the rankings. They will face Arkansas Pine Bluff tomorrow, which should be a cakewalk. Zags guard Ryan Nembhard, he grabbed West Coast Conference Player of the Week honors, leading GU in scoring with 22 points against Cal State Bakersfield and 15 against USC on Saturday night. And the WCC Freshman of the Week, it goes to Braden Huff, scoring 12 points in both games last week. The 6'10 forward shot 10 of 16 from the field and averaged 3 rebounds in 18.5 minutes in both of the wins. Another Freshman of the Week was down in Pullman. Washington State's guard Miles Rice scored 28 points in the win over Eastern and 19 over Portland State. Rice is also the conference's highest scoring freshman while ranking 5th in the Pac-12 overall at more than 17 points per game. And the Washington State women, they also jumped into the top 25 after climbing to number 21. The Cougars currently sit 9-1 on the season so far, while the Gonzaga women, they also jumped into the top 25. They're number 23 after their biggest win in school history, taking down number 3 ranked Stanford. Yvonne Ejim grabbed WCC Player of the Week honors for her double-double in the win and scoring 50 points in the 2 wins over the past week. So The season still early, but our local teams, they're doing really good.
Yeah,
John.
they are.
So
They are.
They're doing really good. But hey, we'll be back with some more news and more John after the break.
A Kennewick tattoo shop helping survivors of human trafficking take their power back. The owners of Pink Flamingo Tattoo is covering up any sort of identification signs they have. The Support Advocacy and Resource Center in Richland tells us that this year alone, SARC served 100 new human trafficking clients in the area, with the majority of them being between the ages of 30 to 59 years old.
Usually by the end of it, I have really great, happy clients that have a renewed sense of that part of their body, whether it's on an abdomen, an arm, a face, wherever they're getting these cover-ups, they can reclaim their power that way.
One human trafficking survivor we spoke with says getting this cover-up tattoo means the world for her and her life moving forward. Well, coming up in the hot spot, jamming out to Kiss in person could be a thing of the past. Who would take the stage for the band here in the near future? In the hot spot, we're seeing the end of an era in music history and the start of a new one using breakthrough technology. The legendary rock band Kiss took the stage last Saturday at the Madison Square Garden in New York City for what is expected to be the group's last live performance. At the end of the show, the group's new digital avatars performed God Gave Rock and Roll to You. Kiss worked with a company based in Sweden. The group has not yet announced its future plans or when the avatars will hit the stage. Meanwhile, Taylor Swift and Beyonce appear to be good for the heart in more ways than one. Some of their songs are on the American Heart Association's list of music that helps with hands-only CPR. They include Swift's You're Losing Me, Welcome to New York, and Sparks Fly, as well as Beyonce's Virgo's Groove and Break My Soul. The Heart Association says the tempos of those songs match the ideal CPR chest compression rate of 100 to 120 pulses per minute. When we come back here on Fox First at 10, Spinnie's got a final look at that forecast. Well, we want to share the good with you tonight. One toddler trying to somersault into adulthood.
Yeah, you're watching as Ashton tries to mimic a young girl's flip in Chicago. The baby waddles behind the young girl attempting to do the stunt.
But instead stops with one leg kicked behind him and slowly falls to the grass like a true champion. Ashton gets up and carries on.
That looks like me when I get out of bed in the morning. I'm still so tired. You're like, can't see where you're going.
You just kind of fall out.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. That was a really good flip. That one, I mean, he's his best.
Yeah, maybe he got up and said, that's what I meant to do, you know?
Your forecast, lots of somersaults, though, in it, don't
Lots of somersaults in the forecast, or for some people, it may be more of a flop. Here's what we're going to see over the next 12 hours. Lots of rain shower activity. In fact, that's not going to stop at 12 hours. We're talking around the next 48 hours of seeing a lot of that rain shower activity, but you will notice that low temperature overnight of 36 degrees isn't looking all that bad. Let's show you the 7-day forecast. How about those high temperatures for the next couple of days? Upper 40s. We are going to be on record high temperature watch for some areas in the region, including down on the Palouse, but we're also going to have a lot of rain with those warmer temperatures. Temperatures will then nosedive as we head toward the weekend, and the possibility of snow will return just in time for our weekend plans.
Do you want to do a somersault for us, Noah, real quick?
On the way out.
Yep.
Oh,
See you later.